G'day, I'm Gavin from Hurley's Fly Fishing and welcome to another episode of On the Fly. Today we're up in Gippsland on a tiny little stream that's hopefully chock-a-block full of browns. We've got a lovely little outfit here. It's a 7.5 foot Stalker Legend in a 2-weight. So it's ideal for a lot of these smaller fish because the size of these aren't like the Mataura in New Zealand. They're good, honest, Aussie sized fish and great fun on light gear. So we've got our setup will be like a rubber-legged raw stimulator. We've got a nymph underneath that as well because they may well be feeding just under the surface. So we'll meander up and hopefully show you a few of these brown trout up close. Got a lovely little, here he goes. Oh, there's a little one just chased after the dry then, but didn't commit. Oh, the little one just rose in front of us. And they really are great little streams. Yeah, not coming here to catch big fish and keep and eat them. We're coming here for a little bit of fun in great surroundings. There we go. And he liked it. Might be a little bit of a smaller fish, couldn't quite get it all in his mouth. But it's just a great place to spend a bit of time. Lovely country. Got lovely clear water. You got a few fish in the in amongst it to slow us up. I can't think of a better way to spend a bit of time. Oh! It's another one that's taken it, which is good signs. They're just mouthing it. They're not really committing to grabbing it, but the next one certainly will, no doubt. So we've had 4 takes in literally a matter of minutes in this lovely pool, and I think they're just tiny little fish that can't perhaps fit this fly in their mouth. So you could actually put on a smaller fly, maybe an Adam's parachute that they can eat, or just hopefully find a fish a little bit bigger. Lovely little run here. Just whack out. We've just got it gone to a dry. There we go. And the fish loved it as well. So just a prime little area, as you can imagine there, for like caddis hatches. And with that rubber leg stimulator, it's ideal. And they take it pretty aggressively too. So just a small little fish. Stunning red spots, just fantastic. And on light gear, sorry mate, I'll just get him out in a sec. On light gear, it's just fantastic, and they come off pretty easy and great fun. So yeah, the rubber-legged raw stimulator, it's a fly everyone needs to have, and I reckon there could be a few more fish up here as well. Now, it's pretty important when you're going between pools that you hook your flies up. There's nothing worse than just let it trail behind you as you walk through. It'll hook on every rock, tree, or a bit of moss. Plus the dry flies will get waterlogged as you're dragging them through. You make a cast, when you get to the next pool, it sinks and you're wasting your time. So what I do is I hook it, the end fly onto one of the guides, and then leave the fly line out and hook it around my reel. And what that allows me to do is when I get to a spot, I simply tap the rod and I've got enough line out to make a cast at close quarters. So that fish, if we see one there, won't even know what's hit him until you set that hook. Great way to go between pulls, hook up the fly and they'll look after you. Oh, come up and took the dry. Oh, and again, beautiful little fish. And I was just going to say that they don't often take it twice. Once they've tasted that, they won't take it again. And sure enough, this little fella proved us wrong. Now that fish took the same fly twice. Normally that doesn't happen. Once they taste it, they realise it's not food and don't make that same mistake, at least straight away anyway. This one did. Interesting enough, it's a rainbow. So you'll see here, they're a lot redder on the side. They'll have like a red stripe that you can see down the side there, and they'll have spots on the tail. And a lovely little fish there. And they're more aggressive. Rainbows are a little bit more aggressive. We don't use the word stupid because that would be politically incorrect, but let's say they're less cautious than a brown. So they'll see that and go, well, that's food, I'm eating it, worried about the consequences later. And that's what happened here. So if you do get a fish that takes your fly and you miss the hookup, change your fly and there's still a chance to get him, unless he's a rainbow and he might just hit it again. Beautiful. Let him swim out of your hands. Perfect. Interesting, in exactly the same spot as we pulled that rainbow out of, literally 2 casts ago, and we've got a brown. So, gee, the spots are incredible, absolutely incredible, and they're just aggressive, you know. And there, I find in these small rivers, they've really got to hit that food quickly, you know. If they don't get it there, that's gone, and their mate downstream grabs it. So they're pretty aggressive towards a good bit of food coming down, because they might not know when their next bit of tuck is coming from. Just stunning. Just get that hook out, mate, and then send you on your way. Perfect. Got a great little brown. Gives the big kids a bit of enjoyment. Perfect. Great fun. So it's always worth a cast again, where you pull a fish out of an area, give it another cast, because there could well be another fish close by or takes up that good feeding line. So give it a go. You never know what's going to get on the end of your line. And we've had a few casts and the fly's starting to sink because they get waterlogged with a little bit of fish slime been in the fish's mouth underwater. So what we need to do, you can either change flies, but a much better way to dry it out is by using what we call desiccant. And that's essentially a powder form that takes all the water out of your fly and makes it float like a cork. So we literally just put that fly in there, give it a shake, blow off some excess, and that will be as buoyant as a brand new fly. Much easier for it to see takes if it takes the nymph, and for the fish to see it floating high on the surface as well. So a little bit of desiccant in your kit, it'll make you successful. Got a lovely little run here. Goes into an undercut bank, good bubble line, got a bit of depth, and hopefully it's going to hold a few fish. So we'll run the dry, hopefully they'll come up and hit the dry, if not the nymph, through those areas. And hopefully we can get a lovely trout to get on the end of it. But it is quite important too, as you're walking upstream, you've got to be, I suppose, walk quietly. We don't want big splashes, kicking rocks out of the way, shifting a lot of water. We want to sneak up on the trout. So the only time they know that you're here is when you set that hook. So take small steps, make sure 1 foot steady before you move the other one, and you'll be a lot more stealthy on the water. And good to stay attached finally. Great little water this. There we go, nice little fish there on a nymph. And we were just walking up here, we'd cast her throughout this little run and hadn't picked up a fish, which was a bit disappointing. And we got up here, and with good polarised glasses, you can see in the water, I saw this fish just under the surface. And sure enough, we throw it up there, and a couple of casts later, he decides he likes it. Nice little feisty fish. And again, great fun, just on light gear, is just fantastic. And they're beautiful, lovely little mountain trout. Just love these spots, as we've seen on all the browns that we've caught. Just the lovely red spots throughout. And that's just a great indication of the sort of fish that you're going to catch in small streams like this. And they're just great fun. And that worked with the nymph under the dry. And we might just unhook him and let him go. And just worked a treat. Perfect. That's fantastic to do that. And it's just a great system with that little nymph underneath the dry. So if there isn't a hatch going on at the moment and they're not looking up, you're still putting that nymph in front of them, and I'll take it. So it makes it worthwhile. And we've still got a lovely set of pools up above as well. Hope there's a few more fish in them. Got a nice little run. You don't always need massive, big, long pools to hold fish. This is like literally about 4 or 5 metres. The water cascades down there, nice and oxygenated, be plenty of food, but a slack bit of water on this side. So that's likely where a fish will sit. And you'll know in a couple of casts, if there's a fish there, he'll take the flight. See a fish just underneath the fly. Come on, mate. Sort of interested. There we go. Oh, beauty. And it is so much better to be able to see it. I think in Australia, because our rivers tend to carry a bit more silt, they're nowhere near as clear as, say, in New Zealand. But Polaroids make such a difference, particularly on a sandy bottom like this where we get to see the fish. And a stunning little specimen again there. And that's the beauty of using that cocktail of the dry fly and the nymph. So you literally got a couple of bob each way. If he's not looking up, they eat about 95% under the surface, so puts the odds in our favour to put a nymph under there and doubles your chances, and it certainly worked. And he's a lovely little rainbow, nice and aggressive. Again, they are all fantastic little fish, so magnificent. I'll just get him out. Come on, mate. Perfect. Excellent. We couldn't resist. I know we were supposed to finish back there, but the water just looked too good. We thought we'd have a couple more casts, and I think I'll still have a couple more casts. Beautiful. Right, oh, I just got off, but exactly where you'd expect a fish to be as that water tumbles down, gets first crack at the food, and yeah, he thought that fly was pretty good. And I can't help it. I know we were supposed to finish, but I've got to have a couple more casts. Beautiful. And he took that like it owed him money. And that's exactly where you'd expect that fish to be, again up that top of that pool. And nice and aggressive and fantastic. That's why I couldn't leave back there. We could see the water up here and I just knew there'd be another fish through it. And you always just need that one more fish. And there we go, beautiful little brown this time to really end the day. So fantastic fun, fantastic fun. We'll get that hook out, give you a quick look and send him on his way. And a net just allows you to subdue the fish much faster. And when you're releasing, you don't need to grab them too hard. Beautiful little brown. Once he lets that net go, come on mate. Beautiful. Incredible spots. As pretty a fish as you'll see anywhere in the world. And we'll just hold him upstream. I'll let you know when they're ready. He'll swim out of your hands, like now, and he's good to go. So that's perfect. So do yourself a favour, get up to these small streams, get the right gear. That's a Legend 7'6" 2-weight. Perfect for this style of fishing. Very light, gives the fish a bit of a chance. A couple of good dries, and away you go. So yeah, it's all pretty good. You want some good boots. I use the Orvis Pros, they're ideal. And I also put some studs in them, and that gives you a bit of bite. A lot of these rocks are pretty big, so they, funny enough, grow moss, which is very slippery. So having the spikes, the Stalker rock bite spikes, bites through that moss into the rock, gives you a much more stable setting, and as well as a wading staff, just sort of adds that extra stability, which is handy in these small streams. So yeah, if you get the chance, get up here and experience these, you'll love it. And we've got a lovely little run here, and with a sandy bottom, I've been able to see a couple of small fish moving around as well. So good Polaroids make a real difference. I'll cast from back here first. You always try and target the fish closest to you, and then we'll work our way up, and who knows, there's probably like up to 10 fish living in that area. You might not catch them all, but you certainly improve your chances if you start at the back and tick them off as you go. So we'll get that fly up there. One just rising out to the right, about there. Come on. There we go. Oh, I could see this little fish just there. That's why I had so many casts over the top of it. Normally, if the fish is there, he'll get it straight away. This one, yeah, didn't take it, but you can still see him. So it's about persistence as well. And he's a lovely little rainbow, slightly bigger than our other one, but Great little fish, and rainbows are generally, they fight differently to a brown. They'll sort of run a lot further, jump more, and they're nice and aggressive too. We'll just get him in the net and calm him down a bit, but it's slightly bigger than the other one, but a beautiful fish just the same. And when you can see them with good Polaroids, it just makes everything so much more worthwhile, because you see it unfold. You watch him swing a little bit to take your nymph, your dry goes under, set the hook, and everybody's pretty happy. Just get that hook out. Great little tool, catch and release. You can literally get that fly out without touching the fish, which is fish is pretty happy about. But we'll touch him just to give you a quick look at home. Once he settles down, mate, hang on. That's the beauty about a net too. You subdue them while they've still got plenty of energy, but a great little fish. That red stripe really pronounced there, and the spots on the tail, nice and aggressive fish. And he's good, yep, and he happily swims off, so perfect. He'll just sit behind that rock, get his breath back, just get used to what it's like being on TV, lucky fish, so it's great. But it's a perfect way to end the day on a fish like that in a stunning location. And Gippsland has literally got hundreds of these tiny little rivers that are full of gold like that. So it's a great way to spend a bit of time. So get up there, you know, don't kill all the fish. We've got to put them back. We've got to look after our fishery and just enjoy catching them in just incredible scenery. So yeah, good way to spend a day. So hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you get a chance to get up here, really you'll enjoy it and have a lot of fun. I look forward to catching you on the fly.